Hey guys, it's Chris with City Girl Homestead. Time for Fun Friday, and I'm also doing hashtag Friendship Friday for the collab today. So we're going to do the collab part first, and then we're going to do something that I scoured the internet to think of stuff that might be fun, and I think I found something, so let's check it out. So I got this recipe sent to me via my email, and you guys can do that. It's citygirlhomestead2022@gmail.com. And you will see her as Mowgli, but her name is Marsha. And never mentioned her name much before because I always want to make sure it's okay before I do that. So she sent me Amish sourdough pancake recipe, which you can use for the friendship starter as well. So we're going to make some pancakes. I'm going to turn this on really low so my butter can get melted, because we're going to make pancakes too. So the first thing you use is buttermilk pancake mix. You're going to use 2 cups of it. There's 1. We'll see how these turn out. I'm going to make them for Tom's lunch, actually, so I'll put them in the freezer. And I'll have to remember to use this box up before I make up more homemade. Alright, now we're going to use 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to use this stuff up so that I can make more room on my countertop. Then we're going to use 1 cup of the Amish friendship starter. I've already mixed it up and everything, so this stuff is so sticky and gross, but it turned out good yesterday, so we're going to try it again. It's not quite a cup. Let's get a whole cup there. Alright. So we're going to add all that starter. Make sure that you use only plastic for that. I'm going to scoop that out so we can get all that goodness. Alright. Had to wash my hands, they were sticky. So now we're going to mix all this together. You know, it looks almost too thin. Just a minute here. Let me get a whisk for that. Because nobody wants clumpy pancakes. At least I don't. Yeah, that seems awfully thin. You know what, I think I'm going to add just a little bit more pancake mix because that's a little bit thin for me. You can always adjust things, you know, just don't overdo it. Let's see if that works better. Yeah, that looks a little better. You know, with anything flour like that, things can change just by what the weather is, and it's rainy here and cold, so it could change things, you know what I mean? Alright, so now we're going to, I'm going to make a little one to start out with. I might just start using spray. This is that new one I just got too, from Little Dusty's. Yeah, that's still pretty thin. I'm going to turn that up a little bit. That's going to be way bigger than a pancake than I wanted. I'm going to have a mess all over my counter. We're going to want to add more than that. So I would say probably 2.5 cups of flour, or of the pancake mix. because I like a nice thick pancake. All right, let's see how that turns out. All right, so while that's cooking, I got a big mess on my counter. All right, I wiped everything up just a little bit. So now, you see how it's bubbling over there? That's before we flip it. And then I want to show you too. Do you see the bubbles in there? So that starter has actually activated, which is pretty cool. Okay, so my son called and I flipped it and everything myself. So sorry about that, guys. The job he was supposed to work today didn't work out right, so he's on his way home. And he just wanted to call his mom and tell her. Alright, so I'm going to do these pancakes for Tom. But let me show you what I'm going to do with mine. You remember that candy apple that I made? I love it, love it, love it on pancakes. It's really good, actually. I was like, what am I going to do with this jelly? Or this. And I'm like, let's try it on some pancakes. And we did. And it turned out really good. It's got a little bit of a bite to it, but not much. Well, boy, is it really, really good. So, you know, this is actually thin enough that I could do a crepe with these, honestly. I didn't even think about that till after I added. We could have done crepes. Mmm. What a good pancakes. Mmm. That is really, really good. Mmm. We'll save that for later. Alright. So while we're making these pancakes, I was looking at stuff that, you know, like, what could I, you know, I come up with these lists and whatever. That was your guys' request to do that. And I was like, I want it to be something different. What can I make it? So, I found a list. Let's see here. 25 unnecessary wastes of money that we don't think about. I can think of a lot of things I waste my money on. Hold on 1 second. Oh yeah, now that's a puffier pancake. Alright, so I thought, well, why not find a list of what other people spend their money on? That's stupid, right? So it says buying name brand products. Store and generic brands have to be one of the most underused ways to save money across the range of products, from food to skincare, your drugs, groceries, all that good stuff. And we just did talk about that the other day, that, you know, like, I've always been a Heinz 57 girl. I love my Heinz 57 ketchup. But honestly, it's gotten so expensive that, you know, you buy it and you're like, ugh. You know, you hate to spend that kind of money on, you know, ketchup. Well, then we find out that, you know, there are cheaper alternatives and they taste just as good. This is something else, but I don't know a lot about car repair, but paying someone else for simple car repairs. You know, like Courtney, she can change, she gets her dad's help, but she can change her own brakes and stuff like that. And a lot of things now, actually, you can learn. Like Tom's fixed a few things on our truck that you can go on YouTube and learn how to do it. So instead of paying a dealership $300, $400, $500 to fix it, it's the cost of the part, and that's it. This is another one that I'm famous for. Grocery shopping when you're hungry. Worst time to go grocery shopping because everything looks good. And you're going to make everything, right? Sure. So, grocery shopping with when you're hungry. And this one I think we're all guilty of too. you know, buying a snack at the gas station every now and then, you know, because their stuff is expensive. But how many times have we went into the gas station and like, you weren't craving chocolate, but now all of a sudden you are. So you grab a candy bar. And like, I noticed that we have Speedway. It's a big thing here. And Speedway regular size candy bars are like $2 now. I mean, so you think about that and you're like, holy gosh. Tom's going to love these. All right. 1 second. I'm going to try something. My idea is, what if I take those little hamburger papers, like these, and put them in between the pancakes? So once I put them in a bag for the freezer, they won't stick together. I think that's going to be a great idea. Maybe, maybe not, but why not? You can get like 100 of those at the Dollar Tree for $1.25. All right, let me put another one there. I think that'll be a great idea. Every once in a while, maybe I come up with a good idea. Very once in a while. Anyways, the next one is taking expiration dates as law. So, and this is something I agree with 110%. I don't know so much about medicines and stuff, and I'm not going to tell you, you know, your medicines are good past date, whatever, because that's not for me to say. But your food, we've talked before, some of that food can go for years after the expiration date. Just make sure that, you know, there's no dents or, you know, your top doesn't, because then it's no good. And if you open it up and it smells like crap, don't use it. That's pretty simple. Now the next one is paying for cable. I don't pay for cable anymore. The kids will watch some TV when they come over in the morning, but Tom and I don't usually watch TV until Friday night, if then, because he has to work Saturday. So we usually don't even watch TV till Saturdays and Sundays because of his hours. So, but you know, they get you. Because if you're not paying for cable, they charge you, like I pay $139 to have a phone line. Excuse me, a phone line and my internet. That is a lot of money. Only using credit and debit cards. It says it's a lot easier to spend more because you don't see the money. But you know what? I do agree with that. And I'm in the credit card business, so, you know, I should say you should use more credit cards. But I'm not going to tell you that. But I noticed, too, if I use cash, like I can make $100 bill, like, disappear in no time. I don't know about you guys, but, you know, like that, it does not take long to make a $100 bill disappear. So I agree that we spend more if we use our credit cards, because then it's like, the credit card companies count on that. I can tell you. They count on you doing that. It's called impulse buying, and they count on it. The next thing is your bank in general. Let's see what this one says. Banks have everything to do with them, just money vacuums in general. Take a look at your accounts and card fees and see if there are better options that you currently have. Try the darndest to use ATMs for your bank only. Using another branch's machine racks up the fees. That is true. You go somewhere and they charge $3 to $4.50, you know, to pull your money out of the bank somewhere else, and that's not cool. A drafty living space, I think that's pretty much a given. I'll tell you, when we inherited my house from my mom, my windows were from the 80s when my dad put them in. And you guys, my computer desk is in the corner of the living room. And so there's a window here and a window here. And I would sit there and be wrapped up in a blanket and still be cold. And our gas bill was like $300 and some dollars. We have a 900 square foot house. It's not like it's big. And so the first year after that, we actually got new windows, and now my bill stays, you know, in the wintertime when it's really, really, really cold, it might go up to $200, but it stays generally below $200. So drafty spaces, even if you got to put the plastic or whatever on your windows, I seen this house. I'd go up the back way up north, and this house would literally wrap plastic around the entire thing for all winter long and just have cutouts for the door to get in. And I noticed the last time we went up that all that plastic was gone. They had new windows and new siding. So, must be they got tired of doing that. So, you know, that's... But if it helped them to be able to stay in their house, you know, and to be able to afford to live there, I guess that's what they needed to do. See who says I can't multitask. All right. In-game purchases. And I am one that's guilty from this. I play June's Journey, Farmville 2, and something else. And sometimes, you know, they get this really good sale and like $2.99 and you can get all this stuff. So I am guilty of that one myself. They say by not keeping your tires properly inflated, it'll cost you more on gas. Well, I'm not going to say what I want to say, but if the gases weren't so high, maybe we could afford it. I filled up today because it's, I filled up yesterday, I should say. It was the last day of my picking up my grandkids for the week. And it was down to $3.29, but I get that at Sam's so that we can save money. That is the main reason for my Sam's card, is to save gas money. I mean, it's usually 20 cents cheaper than everywhere else. Couponing irresponsibly. And I have been guilty of this one myself too. You'll buy something because you have a coupon for it. And even if it's, you'll save $5 off of this or that, whatever. And I think a lot of us are guilty of that. We'll buy it just because, oh, I saved a great big amount of money. Well, if we're not going to use it, then it's kind of pointless to have to use that coupon. 13 is paying full price for clothes. I haven't been to a consignment shop in forever, but you can get a lot of good deals. I told you guys before, I did my son's tuck stuff that he needed. My other son, I did his, he went to the, whatever, the prom or something like that. And actually, we got him decked out really good. I think it was when me and Tom first got together, and he wasn't working a lot, and I just was a single mom. I didn't have a lot of money either. I think we got him decked out, shoes, everything. It was like 25 or 30 bucks, and he looked amazing. And I'm not just saying that because he's my son. Well, maybe, but he did look really good. All right, so skimping on health and hygiene habits. Let's read this one and see what it says. You think it won't happen to you, but it will. Your dentist isn't just having the power trip. You do need to maintain teeth health. I will tell you, I was broke, didn't have any insurance. Take care of your teeth as good as you can. As good as you can. It says, before it gets painfully expensive. Not washing your hands, alcohol, and junk food products. I agree with those. And your medical bills could go up. Temporary inconvenience, adjusting new habits to make smart choices. Pricey personal care. Let me tell you, that is so not me. My arm, sorry, it's hurting really bad, but he keeps twisting my elbows to try to get everything to try to align up. And man, sometimes when he does that, oh, you guys, it's been since Monday, and it just, like, I'll move it just wrong, and it hurts like crazy. I don't know that it's helping, but, you know, let's see. He's been doing it the last 3 weeks. But personal Personal care products. When my son first got with his ex-wife, she would spend seriously $18, $20, $25 on pricey shampoos, body washes, everything else. And he's like, Mom, what do I do? He says, we cannot afford to do this. And I says, well, you're going to have to get a handle on it. You know what I mean? And he finally told her, he goes, I grew up on VO5 and whatever the Rain product is. And he says, my hair is just as clean as yours, and you don't need to spend all that money on stuff. Because, like, she would go to, like, all these real expensive stores and, like, drop half a paycheck, you know? And he's like, we'll never be able to buy a house if you keep doing this. And he got her under control, and they ended up buying a house and all that stuff, you know? Well, then they had to sell the house because they got divorced, but yeah. But it's true. That stuff, you know, I mean, there are some products that you need to spend that kind of money on because they're better for you, whatever, then do what you have to do. All right. Oh, every time I move that arm. Ugh. Unnecessary laundry junk. I use dryer sheets. And it says you need neither fabric softener. In fact, you might not even need toxic goop you put in your washing machine either. Plenty of cheap and easy homemade laundry detergent recipes can be found online, as well as replacements for dryer sheets and reusable dryer balls. Or better yet, skip the dryer as much as possible and do line drying is fine. You know, and I do need to get some more laundry soap made and some more homemade dryer sheets because they work great and they're cheap. And I've made my own softener as well. I do have videos on that if you guys want to see those. And they do work well. It's just that I've gotten busy. And I think that time sometimes is our worst enemy. It really is. Because we just sometimes don't have time for everything. Alright, energy drinks. If you have energy drink habits, time to kick it to save money. Those things aren't cheap. I agree. And it says get a normal amount of sleep. Well, you know, that's easier said than done. Disposable razors. I agree with that. But, you know, the ones that you want to use, there are a few services that aren't so bad every month. But I agree, disposable razors are really expensive. And especially now, they're getting really, really expensive. But then what isn't? You know, everything's getting very expensive. I think I might be almost done here. I'm going to have two small ones probably. Well, maybe I can just do one nice size one. There we go. All done with that. Alright. Now I got more room. Okay. So the next one is not carrying a reusable coffee cup. I don't buy coffee from the gas station, but for those people that do, a lot of times, like at our Speedway, they charge you $8.99 and they give you this really, really nice cup, and then you get a discount on your coffee. I think best thing is to make your coffee at home, but if you do go into the gas stations, I agree, use a reusable cup. Now, this one, buy individual coffee drinks in general. I do agree with that. There are so many different ways and so many different syrups and stuff that you can make those fancy coffee cups at home. And yeah, I think that that's a good idea. Making more than one trip to the grocery store per week. You know what? I am so guilty of that. Not that I drive to the store every week, but honestly, now they put it at Walmart that you have to order $35 or $36, something like that. Or they will charge you for delivery. So I'm getting better, but I know that like if you're only missing a couple things, you know, order it or you go pick it up or whatever. And really all that gas and everything that you're paying, that really adds up. That adds up a lot. Look at that. I don't know how many we got. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we'll have 9, 10 of them. So that's not too bad. And I made them pretty big, so. All right. Buying several different cleaning products and wipes. That I used to be very difficult. I used to be very, very guilty of. Now I buy bleach and a few other things. But, you know, a lot of things your window cleaner will clean up really well. Like I need to clean my my refrigerator off. And honestly, I found that using the window cleaner works better than any of that other stuff that I bought to do it with. Look at that. They turned out beautiful, didn't they? Alright. So, I hope you're having fun with me. This is kind of boring, right? Not taking advantages of qualifying discounts. And I seen a list somewhere. I'll have to remember where I found that, and if I find it, I will put it below. But there's a lot of restaurants that, like I'm 57. Not all restaurants and stuff make you be 62. And so there's some that offer free coffee or 10% off or whatever. If I can find that list wherever I had it, I'll put that below. Why not save the money? I always tell them at the Chinese restaurant, 1 adult and 1 old man. And then 24 is pre-sliced or individually packed anything. And I agree with it. But you know, like with sliced cheese and whatever, I mean, I guess I could get my slicer out and do that. You know, that is pre-cut meat, all that. You know, we've slivered some of that ham and stuff, and I think that's a really good idea. But you know, I bet you, I'll have to look, and then in a future video I'll let you know. I wonder how much cheese you would get actually out of a big block, and if you sliced it to be like the same size as you'd use for sandwiches, and how much money you'd really save. Now this last one, I'll have to read it because I don't know what they're coming from. 25 is disorganization. Being disorganized, oh, you know, this makes sense. Being disorganized has cost you money at some point. Losing chargers and cables, misplacing expensive jewelry, forgetting where you left your keys, paying a locksmith to have to get into your house or car. I didn't think about that stuff. So actually, that makes a lot of sense. So you guys will have to let me know what you think about the list and stuff, you know, see if it's something that you want me to continue to do. If it's still fun. If it's not fun, let me know that too. Because I don't want to do anything that's like boring and not fun. Because it's Fun Friday. Duh. So let me know if it's something that you guys still enjoy me doing. If not, then we can figure out something else. But thanks for coming along with me to do that collab. And I think they look great and they did taste good. And I'm going to finish eating that other one up even though it's cold now. Now I will put these in a gallon bag. And then I think that's going to work out great. And then he can take out just what he wants every morning. He loves pancakes that I freeze up. He loves it. Men, I don't know why, he's like a pancake and waffle person. I can take it or leave it. I like them, but it's not like a big necessity for me. So I want to thank you guys for coming along with me today. And like I say, any of these extra things like the Thankful Thursday and Fun Friday, let me know if you're still having fun with them, you know, and see if that's something you guys still want to do. But I love sitting here with you guys, even if it's acting goofy and coming up with funny lists. And actually some of those lists, you know, I've learned some things from, and I'm like, you need to stop doing that, or you need to start doing that, because money gets tight, and we're all on a budget unless you're independently wealthy. But I'm not, so I have to watch my budget. Well, I watch my budget. How good that works is another thing. But anyways, thanks so much for sitting with me. And I do really love you guys, and you're the best community ever, and I love sitting with you guys. It's a lot of fun. And thank you for being here, and I hope this Friday was fun. If not, let me know. Anyways, God bless you guys. You have a blessed day. Be a blessing. And I will see you tonight for supper.